Luana, let me know when you're ready to start the meeting.
Thank you, Ebenezer. We are right now at 6:27. I want to give people grace, but not like maybe like 5 minutes. So probably 6:35. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine with me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start the webinar because maybe people is in queue there,
Yeah.
and then you start it when you're ready, okay?
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We're going to join at approximately 6:35 to give both community board members as well as people who are on the agenda some wiggle room for them to attend, but we will start promptly at 6:35. Thank you for your patience.
I think I have it on the line. Yeah, I got it. Just send it, license, yeah.
Can you bring me the committee attendance, please?
Sure. So I wonder if you got another one then.
Okay, we're going to get started, like I said, at 6:35. We do have quorum. We have a resolution tonight, and I'm happy to report, Danny, I'm happy to report that we do have quorum. Yes, Liz, I know, I just unmuted. Okay, so welcome everybody to this iteration of Community Board 12 meeting. My name is Luana Ferreira. I am your chair, and we're going to get started tonight. I understand that the presidential debates are going on, so we're trying to keep this down to a minimum. We do have a resolution. We have several of our updates, both programming updates. So I would like to get started with welcoming two new community board members, two new parks committee members, and I'll allow them to do a very quick introduction.
Hi, everyone. My name is Noemi Diaz. I currently live in Washington Heights all my life. And I work in Washington Heights, and my daughter comes to school in Washington Heights. So I'm here to serve in Washington Heights. And a side note, my daughter loves to be in the library all the time. So let's go for it.
Which library?
Yeah, which
Right
one?
here, Washington Heights, the one on 161st.
Second.
Second, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so welcome. Thank you for joining. Also, we have is I think Crystal is on. Let's see. Let's see. I thought, okay, our other member is joining online. Let's see, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to put them on the.
The agenda is
On the
over there,
checklist.
so host and panelists. Thank you for your patience as we get adjusted. I hope everybody had a fantastic summer. I will let also Danny Bonilla introduce himself. For those of you that don't know him, as part of the PCA, we call it the PCA for short, Parks and Cultural Affairs.
Yes. Hi, my name is Daniel Bonilla. I'm part of Parks and Cultural Affairs, and also I'm part of Land Use. I'm a local artist. I live around your way, and yeah, cool. We're back.
We're back. Barbara, welcome back, Barbara. I hope you're doing well with your pets, your black cat, who's probably getting ready for Halloween. Just a quick introduction, please, to kick off this new year. You got to unmute, Barbara.
Sorry to hold the space bar.
Hold the space bar down.
I'm unmuted now, right? Good.
Yes,
Okay.
you are. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm Barbara Frazier. I have a longtime Inwood resident. I've lived in Inwood since the early 1970s and have raised my daughter here in Inwood. I've been on the Parks and Cultural Affairs Committee for, almost 8 or 9, 10 years now. I guess my two main accomplishments in the last several years have been securing through Udonis the funding and design for the fountain that is in the Ann Loftus Playground. I hope everyone enjoyed that this summer. It's I think a citywide accomplishment. It's unique in the city. And then also advocating for the creation of the park at the #1 Dyckman Street subway station, the Dyckman Rest, advocating to create a park out of nothing and the special design features for that park. And it has received all over Facebook almost 100% accolades. So I think that's a tremendous accomplishment of the committee, and I'm glad that I brought it to the committee to happen. So that's what we do at this committee, is come up with ideas and make them happen.
Thank you,
that's
Barbara. Thank you. And again, I'm Luana Ferreira. This is my second year as the chair of the PCA. I am a lifelong resident of Washington Heights Inwood, born, raised, still living, and I shall not be moved. I'm a Payson, like the poem says, right? I'm a Payson preschool, PS 152, Brandeis High School, all of it. So welcome, everybody. We're going to get started with the agenda. I took the liberty to just, instead of doing updates, just doing opening remarks. And then we're going to immediately move into our program, our partners in programming to do their usual programming report, 2 minutes max. And I'm going to start with Julie McCoy.
Thank you, Luana. So I'm Julie McCoy, and just in case you're unaware, I represent the Inwood Canoe Club, and we have wrapped up our summer public programming season. As many of you know, Sunday mornings from Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend, we have our open house program where we take people out for free kayaking on the Hudson River. So I want to get a final count from our team, but if I look at our weekly reports, we put over 730 people on the water this summer. That's free public programming. That's not counting our youth programs, which I'm waiting for a count on that. But we had many more programs this year, partnering with groups such as Wheels and a group called Cat Rock, which is affiliated with the Sierra Club. And in addition to that, as some of you know, a couple of years ago, we started organizing shoreline cleanups. Sometimes we do these things with our friends in Friends of Inwood Hill Park. Sometimes we do them on our own, and we have done one with Riverkeeper. The total number of volunteers varied between 14 to 30 people. We had 5 such events, and we have one more coming up this Sunday. I will post a link in the chat for people who want to register for that. So, and John, I'll be getting some of these over to you and Chris so we can get the volunteer hours counted. But if I put them all together, we have over 1,000 volunteer hours through all of the public programming and what we do. That's my report. We still have some paddling on our own. We've done a bit of training, but we will look forward to having folks around next summer for when the water is warmer. And the shoreline cleanups will probably have some more into the fall and in spring, because those are things we can do regardless of the water temperature. That's my report.
Thank you so much. Let's see. I do have a question. Stephanie, if you have a question pertaining to Julie McCoy's program, I can allow you to speak. Otherwise, if this is a general question, I'm going to have to ask or politely ask that you please hold off until we do our programming. So feel free to say something in the chat within that regard. Right now, do we have any questions for the New York Canoe Club? Yes.
Does he need volunteers for the cleanup and pickup?
Did you hear that, Julie?
I did. So, I mean, the shoreline cleanups are opportunities for people to come and participate. We provide the trash bags, the gloves, the grabby things. So it's really anybody who wants to come and help pick up the shoreline. So this is one we have organized. So just show up at the boathouse, which is about 200 yards south of the Hudson restaurant along the bike path just off of Dykeman.
So do you have a date for that?
Oh, it's September 15th. That's this coming Sunday.
Okay.
And I just posted the registration link. It's from 10:30 to noon on Sunday.
I have a question. I don't have a hand raise on my computer.
Yeah.
So-
Can we allow Liz, because Liz did have her,
Sure,
her hands up. First Liz, and then you're up next, Barbara. And I'm waiting for Stephanie to confirm if her question is concerning the Canoe Club. Thank you.
Stephanie's question is that she just wants to make a presentation from Riverside Park. I just want to, it's been a while since I've been on a Zoom, a CB Zoom. So I know we have a Q&A, which is available to everybody. And we also have the webinar chat, which I think is only available to the hosts and panelists and is supposed to be reserved for things like technical difficulties or whatever. So if anybody is putting information in the chat, the rest of the public who is as an attending as an attendee, but not as a panelist, I think doesn't have access to that. So it would be helpful if you either give that information out loud or if you put it into the Q&A, like as a response. So if somebody from the public says, what is the date of something or other, then you can answer it.
Okay.
And Barbara, you want to access the raise hand feature. If you go into reactions and click on it, you should be able to raise your hand there.
Oh, thank you. Okay, good.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. All right.
I wonder if as a panelist, can I do the Q&A? I don't think I can post my link in
As
there.
a panelist, you can't initiate a question, but you can answer it. So if someone from the public asks, hey, would someone from the public please ask for the information so Julie can provide the information as an answer?
Help me help you.
Okay, so I'm also going to ask for a little bit of patience as I manage the chat, the raising of the hands. Alexis just came in. She is our vice chair. I'll let her introduce herself. And also we have another new member. Crystal, are you able to introduce yourself? Because I keep promoting you, but you keep declining. So I'm wondering if this is like a technical issue or anything of the sorts, because as a community board member, you are to be a panelist. All right. Okay, thank you so much for your patience as we navigate all of this. You want to introduce yourself, my love?
Yes, hi, my
Yes.
apologies for my lateness. Sometimes my dog knows when I'm late and makes me late. Alexis Marnell, vice chair, was a public member for a few years and became a full member and vice chair last year, so my second year, and thank you.
My second in command, who always submits minutes on time and takes copious minutes. So I'm very, very grateful for Alexis. Barbara, you're up next with your question.
My question is, you've had over 700 kayaking hours and such. What is the status of your kayak inventory? And are you in need of, new kayaks? And are you in any position to get a grant for them? Status, in other words, of your inventory?
That's a really good question. There's a couple of pieces. So it was over 700 individual people that we were able to put on the water. When we report to parks, we tally up the number of people volunteering. But in terms of the public non-members, so people who don't have their own means of going out kayaking, presumably, it was over 700. And so that's what that was. We do have plenty of kayaks. We both have sit-on-top kayaks. We have some double sit-on-top kayaks that can accommodate 2 people. And then the club has some sea kayaks, which is what we use for the club members to actually lead and guide. We've been able to buy some used boats like those, and they do last a very long time. We have also, through our affiliate Uptown Paddling, been able to get some grant money, in particular from Carmen de la Rosa's office. I know there was a good grant made, and from that, some of those proceeds were used to buy new sit-on-tops, and those support the youth program, which in those numbers, I haven't gotten a full report on yet. So we have boats, and we put people on the water. Thank you. I should say we are very grateful to all the support from the community, as well as from Carmen de la Rosa's office and all of our other politicians.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to continue with Catherine Hughes from the Morse Mill Mansion. Welcome, Catherine. I hope you had a nice summer.
I did. Thank you very much, Lana. We have 4 programs that I can talk about. We have our Family and Community Day, which is September 14th from 1 to 3. Families, anyone from the community can come. And we are making Hessian craft bags on September 18th. That's Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. We have a virtual parlor chat on our paranormal investigations. So that's paranormal investigations. You can sign up for that on our website. And we have a new thing, Bridgerton, the music of Bridgerton with the Washington Heights Chamber Orchestra. That concert is 4 to 5 on September 21st. So that's going to be outside, and we encourage everybody you can sign up, but you can also just join up. And then we have something happening in October. We have a new exhibit with Andrea Arroyo. It is called Faces and Facades, and we'll have an opening reception on October 19th at 3 o'clock at the mansion. So please do think about joining us for that opening to see Andrea's new exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Do we have any questions for Catherine, who is the executive director for Morse Mill Mansion?
I introduced myself. I apologize.
Yes, that's what we're here to do. We're slowly adjusting and slowly enjoying the last rays of summer. I'm a winter baby myself. I like winter. I cannot wait. So, any questions? Yes, welcome.
I just wanted to know if there's a price for the of admission for the Bridgerton Orchestra that they're having.
Is there did you hear that, Catherine?
No, I did.
We have constituents asking about the pricing for those events.
All of the events that I mentioned are free.
Even Bridgerton?
Yes, Bridgerton is free. It is at 4 o'clock on what day did I just tell you? On September 21st. And yes, it is free.
$3.99.
You have a question over here as well.
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
I apologize that this is an obvious question, but there's all these really cool events happening between the kayaking, and I wish I would have known about some of these events. Is there a particular place where these are advertised, where you can see what's happening in our district?
I don't believe that there's a centralized hub to get information. I think you would have to go to the individual organizations, because we're not like an like sometimes they'll bring flyers, for example. I know the Hispanic Society brings postcards, but I think that the community board is not sort of like this hub where,
I
yeah.
was hoping that's what it was. We're like, okay.
Yeah, I'm working on it though. I have some ideas.
Like,
There's a website called Height
I'm
Sites.
just gonna say, there's two websites you can look
Yeah.
at. One is Height Sites,
Height sites,
yeah, SITS, and the other is Harlem One Stop.
Harlem One Stop.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry, I was.
No apologies. That's what we're here to do.
Like Bridgerton, something fantastic, like it's super cool. That's
That is specifically on the Jumel Mansion website. They have it. It's called Jumel.
right. If I wouldn't have come back.
And sometimes on the newsletter, sometimes like we'll put things for the community board newsletter.
Got it. So Harlem One and
Harlem One Stop.
Yes, we are a part of Harlem One Stop. We always put stuff into the calendars for NOMA and NOMA's calendar, as well as Harlem, the Heights.
Yeah, Noma's a good newsletter to join.
Norma.
Noma,
Noma.
North from Manhattan Art Alliance.
Thank you for that, everybody. We finally teased out the glitches. Crystal are also another board member and PCA committee. Welcome. Would you like to please introduce yourself and welcome?
Hi, sure, I'll go quickly. Hi, everybody. My name is Crystal Woodley. I too am a Washington Heights. I live in Washington Heights, born and raised in Washington Heights. I'm glad to be on the board. This is my first year. I'm active in my church community, so I'm looking forward to the events that are coming up, especially that Bridgerton one, because I've been a part of another event. I'm a case manager at a local shelter in the Bronx, so I am dealing with some of the migrants, dealing with people in the homeless community, and they do need events to go to. So I am looking forward to bringing my fresh ideas and how other people can get engaged. I am also on the youth committee, so we can work with other groups as well. And I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you and welcome, Crystal. So the next person to do updates is the executive director for the Dyckman Farmhouse Museum, Melissa Kivet. Melissa, it's always nice to have you.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm Melissa Kivet. As Luana said, I am the executive director of the Dyckman Farmhouse Museum. We have a couple of events coming up this month that I wanted to make everyone aware of. The first of which we're really excited for our exhibition opening. We have a reception for it tomorrow night. We have an exhibition of 2 local artists. And so they're technically 2 separate exhibitions. Our Blues is by Regina Evans and is a healing arts textile installation highlighting the sacredness and dynamic beauty of Black women. And then The Devil I Dance With, The Makings of the U.S. Through African-American Eyes is an expression of the tenderness artist Rebecca Boyd Driver feels through the strength of her people who face tremendous ongoing oppression. And so that the reception will take place tomorrow night from 6 to 8 p.m. That is free. And then coming up on Saturday, the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th, from 11 to 12, we have our Goodbye Summer Dance Cardio class on the property. And that is with former Dyckman Farmhouse Museum intern Ricky Lorenzo, who is also an Inwood native. And then on the 17th from 5:30 to 7 p.m., we're closing out our popular Growing Uptown program with a community potluck. The farmhouse will provide a few dishes and all the plates, napkins, and cups. Please bring a dish, come out and just have some good community time with us there. We're really excited for that. And then looking forward, our very popular Fall Festival is coming up on Saturday, October 19th, and we're looking forward to having the entire community come out for that.
Thank you for that. Any questions for the good people at the Dyckman Farmhouse Museum? Yes, please.
What time is the Goodbye Summer Dance Cardio?
It's from 11 to 12 on those Saturdays. So the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th.
Any other questions? Okay, very good. We also have the good people from NOMA, the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance. Nidia, welcome. You closed out with a fabulous season. So what do we have? What rollouts do we have? Art rollouts.
Thank you so much for having me here tonight. We are, after an exhausting summer, we are gearing up for fall. We are so excited to get started. We actually, by popular demand, we're extending the life of the show that's in the gallery right now. That will be up, Uptown Treasures, until October 17th. After which, only a couple weeks after, at the end of October, we will open our new show for the fall, entitled Ritual, Rites, and Routine, Performing the Human Experience. And we're really excited. We've already gotten a handful of submissions. And so we encourage you to please apply. West Harlem, Washington Heights Inwood artists. We've extended the submission date since we've adjusted the calendar a little bit. We are accepting applications for that show until September 30th. So that will be our fall show. And we're looking to do some really exciting programming around that show. We also are going to be launching in November our NOMA Labs. And this is a new membership program that will take place in our studios. These will be professional development workshops. They will be community workshops and labs intended to bring into conversation, into dialogue, into practice, relationships between artists and other artists, working artists, but also between lovers of art and artists. So we will be doing that in our studios. And if you haven't been to our studios, please come. We have 4 gorgeous studios on the 2nd floor of the United Palace. And those are for rent with artist price in mind. So they are priced so that you can afford it. And they are beautiful. And we would love to have you in our space. Please come visit us. Sign up for our newsletter at nomanyc.org. You can do that through our website. Become a NOMA member. It's tax deductible. Rent our studios. And please come visit our shows. We have open gallery hours on Tuesdays and Saturdays from 1 to 5. Thank you for having me here tonight.
Let's go, Nidia.
Thank you, Nidia. Any questions for NOMA? Yes, please.
Is there still live jazz? It says Thursday nights live jazz.
No, I think that's the West Harlem Arts Alliance had a jazz program, and I think that was July through August. So I would encourage you to go on their website, but I have a feeling that they're going to be rebooting that as well. But currently we're not doing live jazz, but we will come the spring, and we will likely have some musical performances as well this fall. So we'll keep you updated on those.
Thank you so much for that lively report, Nidia. Any other questions for NOMA? I just want to remind, we do have people present that these meetings are recorded and you can re-access them on YouTube. So just to let everybody know, and they're public, they're open. and such. Kaya Samurkas from the Friends of Inwood Hill Park. How are you, Kaya?
Hi, I love how you say that every time. It's so fun. I hope everyone had a great summer.
I say it in Spanish because that's how it looks to me. You know, English is not my first language, by the way. So,
yes, Friends of Inwood Hill Park had a great summer. We had some wonderful events with our Inwood Canoe Club friends, as Julie mentioned. Thank you for the shout out. And our final shoreline cleanup of the summer is going to be this Sunday. So I definitely encourage everyone to make an appearance. The weather is going to be gorgeous and you're all very, very welcome. All supplies are provided. Moving into the fall, especially with this really nice weather, we're going to be starting a series of fall stewardship beginning actually on the fall equinox, so very seasonally appropriate. That's going to be on September 22nd. And then we will be moving into a schedule of every other week or bi-weekly weekend stewardship events with a number of programs that have been ongoing from some of our members. So getting more community engagement to help those going. We've identified some longtime projects with the Parks Department and Partnership for Parks. So we're really excited about that. More community events will be coming up this fall, so stay tuned. I can report on that probably at the next meeting. And our big exciting event is going to be our City of Forest Day, which is part of the Forest for All NYC coalition that encourages people to help care for and appreciate the urban forest and the urban canopy that we have. That's something that we're trying to grow from our current 22% up to 30% with all of the benefits for rainwater runoff and helping with urban heat effect. So we're going to be very excited for that. We encourage anyone who wants to be involved to come shoot us an email. I'll put our email in the chat so everyone can see it. We're looking for artists. So Danny, I'm looking at you. For educators, people like to make music, people who want to volunteer. So that'll be on October 26th. It's all of our social media at this point. And again, I'll put all the info in the chat if anybody would like to reach out to us directly or to me personally, and I'll be on the whole time if anyone has questions. But yeah, it's going to be a great season. We're really excited. Thank you so much.
Don't bring it up again in October. That's
absolutely. Yep.
Thank you so much, Kaya. Thank you. And then we also have an update from Stephanie Caban from Riverside Park. Stephanie, can you speak? Let's see, hold on. Let me play with this, fiddle with this, fiddle me this, fiddle me that. Let's see. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. A quick update. Hi, my name is Stephanie Caban. I am the North Park Outreach Coordinator for Riverside Park. So I work from 120th to 181st Street, which includes Riverside Park, Socorro Park, and the southern tip of Fort Washington Park. Two events in Fort Washington this month. We have International Coastal Cleanup Day on September 21st, which is the Saturday. It is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and whoever picks up the most bottle caps wins a prize. The prize is my love and devotion for you. But very excited to have that. Anybody in the community is welcome. And that's that will be at the 172nd Street, like tennis courts. That's where we'll be meeting up. And then the second one is on September 28th. We have the Little Red Lighthouse Festival. If you didn't know, we do have which I'm sure everyone actually knows on this call, a Little Red Lighthouse in Manhattan. It is defunct. It is not functional, but it's really cute. And you can go up. There are a limited amount of tours where you can go up into the lighthouse and take a really cute picture of on the top of the lighthouse. There'll be arts and crafts, food for purchase, and there will be a reading of the Little Red Lighthouse book from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, September 28th. That's all I got.
Thank you, Stephanie, so much. I can't believe that the Little Red Lighthouse, I read that book as a child, so it warms my heart. For those of you that are present, I just want to remind that there are some emails, friendsofinwoodhill@gmail.com. And some more information here to register for the shoreline, signupgenius.com. That is there. We're trying to find ways to consolidate all of this information in one single platform. So we're brainstorming that. Oh, Barbara, you have a question, my dear. Yes, go ahead.
Apropos the Little Red Lighthouse Festival, I wanted to interject. The Hudson River Maritime Museum commissioned an excellent film called Seven Sentinels, The Lighthouses of the Hudson River, which also at the end features the Little Red Lighthouse. I would wonder somehow, maybe Steve Simon can jump in on this somewhere, that somehow we would feature that somewhere through our parks, a screening of that film. It would be nice with the heads. We can't do it this year with the Little Red Lighthouse Festival, but I would hope that it not be lost. That very, very excellent, highly awarded film, Seven Sentinels of the Hudson River. Just bringing that to people's attention.
Thank you, Barbara.
Okay.
Steve, do you have a comment on that? No
I'll put the reference to the film in the chat. Okay.
Thank you.
I saw the premiere of it, and it's really quite incredible.
Well, you know, we can try to find a way in which we can show it. I don't see how we can do it during the Little Red Lighthouse, because that's that you know, that's a daytime event. So
right.
I don't, you know, well, let's talk about it and figure it out.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Steve.
Barbara, I assume it's PG rated.
It's total family. Total family.
And thank you so much, Steve, for putting in the chat that the West Harlem Arts Alliance Jazz Series continues through September 28th and Montefiore Square Park on Broadway and 137th Street. Thank you for that. So as I continue to manage the attendees and participants, did I leave anybody out for programming? Speak now or forever hold your peace, because we're moving to the parks report. And I know that there's some people that have some concerns with parks. So let me look at panelists. Barbara, the question has been answered, yes, because your hand is up.
Oh, yeah. Let me take it down. Sorry.
Oh, apologies. Thank you so much. So we're going to move on with our report, our parks report with Jana Lasorte and her team. Jana, you can manage this report as you see fit. Thank you so much. You have about 10 minutes to do said report. And I understand that there are some concerns. Just to set the tone of what a community board meeting is and also committees, I understand that there are some questions with regards to Dyckman Field. We want to be able to limit the comments to questions that parks can answer after their report. And also, the community board serves as an advisory board that brokers conversations between city agencies and the community. We just need to clarify that, because at times this is an unpaid position, it's voluntary, and it is appointed by our local officials. So I just need to clarify that, because at times, people that attend these meetings, they sort of like they're not clear on what purpose does the community board serve for our community. Like I said, it's an unpaid position and it's volunteer, and we're here just to broker the conversations and the concerns of the community with those, sort of like bridge those conversations between community and city agencies. So that being said, Jamila, do you have any programming that you would like to bring up before I move to parks? Jamila Sandoval with Council Member De La Rosa's office.
Hi, yes, how are you doing? No, not at the moment.
Okay.
I'm just again here to listen and obviously welcome you guys back. So thank you guys for having me. The council member was going to join, but she had an emergency situation with her daughter. So unfortunately she won't be able to join. She's okay. We're hoping she will be okay in the long run, but scary situation. But I'm here to listen and be a fly on the wall and answer any questions that I can. And then when we get to any topic that I need to give comments on, I'll make sure to unmute.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wish you the best.
Thank you. And thank you, Barbara, for putting the information in the chat. And with no further ado, our partner from Parks, Jana Lasorte, take it away. 10 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Claire. Hello. Welcome back from summer. Thanks for all you do. It's a very big volunteer job. We're really grateful. So over the summer, we're very busy in Northern Minnesota. We had a lot happening.
Jana,
tick off some of them. We have new words.
Jana, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to stop you. Your sound is coming interrupted.
I'm gonna turn my video and see if this helps. Does that help?
So far.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Hopefully, otherwise I can.
No. No.
Basically, can you hear me? Oh, okay. Let me.
No.
Call.
Okay.
Yeah, it's easier for us to call in. We got water over there. No, there you go.
We do have quorum. Here.
It would be.
She's on the roster.
She's on the roster.
Yeah. It would be us four. But
Thank you so much, everybody, as we sort out the kinks, technology, man.
And
then I'm a native New Yorker and I'm not comfortable with silence.
And then over there, everyone that's in the meeting. Is there anyone else that's a committee member that's on the attendance? So I feel like just add them over there. Because I didn't even know Steve was on, and so like.
But I don't know if that is reserved for people that are attending in person versus people that are attending. Oh, that's a good idea. So let me put myself. That's it.
Okay, cool.
And Steve, well, he's on the committee, right?
Yeah.
No, he's
Yeah,
not.
he's
He
committed.
can't. Yeah. Steve also.
I got it.
Yeah.
And I'll take care of that.
Okay. Jana, you have to, okay, we cannot hear you. No,
Yeah.
no. Mm-mm.
You're muted, Jana.
And there's no option to ask her to unmute. So there's something going on. Jana, I think there's something going on with your technology.
She has low bandwidth.
Because I cannot even ask you to unmute, which means that you're not muted. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. It says she's an attendee. She dialed in. Hold on. I see it. I see it. Hold on.
Yep. And so try 9.
No, hold on. Let me promote her to panelist. Okay.
Don't worry, you still have your time reserved for you.
Yeah, you're reclaiming your time. Jana, I don't see you as a phone-in the attendees list.
I gave her like a 1-minute grace period. I knew something was gonna happen.
Like, can we like not have issues?
Are you kidding?
More issues than Vogue magazine.
We would not be.
Okay.
If that was the case, so we have no.
Jana, you're not appearing as an attendee via phone.
That's all there is. It's really good.
It doesn't taste very good.
I love it.
No, that.
Oh, that other shit. Ew. No bueno. This is okay though.
Okay, is that you, Jenna? Okay, I see a 347. Let's hope that.
Look at that, there's a rainbow on me.
Can you hear me, Luana?
Yes, I can, loud and clear. Yay!
Okay.
Rainbow.
Sorry, everybody. Hello. Welcome back from summer. I was just thanking you all for the work you do and saying that we did a lot of good stuff over the summer. So I'll try to tick off some. I know. Thanks for your patience and allowing me to get back on here. So let's see, a few things. We started a Healing Youth Gardening program with Uplift NYC with Domingo Estevez. We're really excited about it. We're working also with New York Restoration Project on that. We also painted the fence line over at Wallenberg with Contaminos. We're grateful to them. We have new trails at Inwood and working on the signage there and the wayfinding for that. Signed up new stewards. We have new planters that we put in at El Catania Payan and also at Bennett Rest and Loftus. We have public art that came at El Catania Payan and also at Mitchell Square. And we have the public art 7-piece exhibition appearances that will be leaving us at Fort Tryon Park. That closing tour and event with refreshments is September 15th at the Billings Lawn, 1:30 to 3 this Sunday. And following that on Sunday, by the way, is Summer Blossoms, a jazz and poetry event featuring Jazzwahi and poets. And that's 3 to 5 on the Billings Lawn. So you can do the appearances and then follow up with Summer Blossoms and enjoy a full day with us at the Billings Lawn and in Fort Tryon Park with refreshments. Other key updates of some successes over the summer, working with our partner Central Park Conservancy. We really are excited about Highbridge upgrades rather. Working with them, we're able to pave the entire path below the ball field 1, below the rec center to Edgecombe, and also finally end the dead end. Those of you who know Highbridge Park, below ball field 1 from the rec center to Edgecombe know that it used to end at a guardrail at the closed staircase. Well, Central Park Conservancy helped us open that. It's really beautiful, has made quite a quality of life difference for Highbridge and really leads so beautifully into all of the upgrades that we've done at Adventure Playground and Sunken Playground. Roger Morris Park, we're working with Morris Jamal Mansion on volunteer gardening plans. Wright Brothers, our thanks to Damon for his oversight and partnership as we work to address some issues there, especially related to the NYCHA housing lot next door that has been causing some distress related to trash and rats. Bennett Rest, we met with some new interested residents to form a friends support group around Bennett Rest, which many people might forget is actually part of Fort Tryon Park. Beautiful little sitting area that we're working with them to keep upgrading and making better for people. We also are grateful to our city councilwoman, Jamila, who's on the phone for the discretionary funding to allow us to buy some new garbage cans as we try to build a new approach to the Arden entrance to Fort Tryon Park right there, Arden at Broadway. So we're excited for those tilt truck garbage bins to arrive and introduce them to the community and see if they can help us address that staging area, as there really are not a lot of staging areas for us with trash. Some key capital issues to mention. We are very, very excited and hope everybody will go check it out. Dyckman Rest, the sitting area, playground, and now dog run as well. Right there at the 1 train at the very north end at Dyckman of Highbridge Park next to the mountain biking course. That is open. We are excited to announce soon a ribbon cutting for that. We also set up a meeting with local leaders from Dyckman Houses who told us, well, gosh, this looks so good, we cannot call it Bum Park anymore. We are happy to hear that, and we'll be working with them to also build some leadership around the dog run that we have there. Bennett Park, we just had another site visit last week toward the end of the week, and we're getting close. Mid-October is what it's looking like for us at Bennett Park. We're also grateful to some new stewards led by M, who have really stepped forth and done some incredible work already for Bennett Park, particularly in the southern end. So stay tuned for more news there and ribbon cutting to come as well. Monsignor Kett, the public restroom, and Kiskea Playground, the restroom. We are a little stalled there due to some supply chain issues and also just some tree roots that we came across at Kett delayed us, and also just some contractor delays with people's vacations and people being ill. So I'll give more updates on that next month. And then in Woodhill Park, Dyckman Fields, the soccer field, as some folks know, is being upgraded. Uptown Soccer is very excited about that. And then one thing that happened the end of August that was definitely distressing, and we're working on repairs with State DOT, is the Hudson Greenway. So the sinkholes along the Greenway finally did cause it to be dangerous enough that we did have to close that off. So you will see detour signage. We're actually going to review that detour signage tomorrow and do the routing to make sure that it's very clear. So Chair, those are my key updates. Just one other note, that Open House New York, we're excited that the historic Fort Tryon Park Cottage, 1908, will be once again part of Open House New York, October 20th, 12 to 4.
What will be?
Open House New York.
What part?
The historic cottage at Fort Tryon Park. It's a 1908 cottage. It's actually the headquarters for us at Northern Manhattan Parks. That will be part of Open House New York. If people aren't familiar with Open House New York, it's a really wonderful opportunity for free to see inside sites in the city that are usually closed to the public. And that's October 20th, 1 to 4. Sorry, 12 to 4.
Up to 4, October 20th, Open House New York. Okay, thank you.
And then
so
we also have
Yes.
sorry, we have one movie, Chair, September 27th at High Bridge.
Okay.
What movie?
What movie, Jana?
I'll have to check Rec Center. I'll look to see if they sent me the flyer, and I can put that in the chat if I have the flyer.
Okay. Okay, we have questions for you, Jana. I'm going to first acknowledge Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I'll let you speak in a minute, but in order for us to consolidate an effort to have a fruitful conversation about Dyckman Fields, again, I'm going to ask that you limit your comments to actual questions for Park. And then when we get into that, I will provide sort of like a brief timeline of what has happened that has come to, that has resulted in this project. But before we get to that, Dyckman Fields, Elizabeth has been very patient, and Elizabeth, please ask your question. Thank you. Starcevic, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name.
You have to unmute her.
Yes.
Okay. I too, like many of you, I've lived here all my life, and all my life I went to Highbridge Pool. In the last 2 years, the Highbridge Pool ostensibly, I say, because of a leak, has basically taken out the children's pool. They've made it into a semi-cabana. We're having more and more issues of children not knowing how to swim and children drowning in the summertime. And so I think this, and plus I heard at the last minute that even Governor Hochul gave extra money for the pools. Highbridge was not among them. So I think that this is a very, very important thing, and that it has to be attended to in terms of having a place in which we can familiarize children with the water and also teach children how to swim. I know all of the issues around there isn't enough money for lifeguards, etc. That's part of the topic, but the idea that that gigantic pool has been taken offline, not the adult pool, but the child's pool, which is also gigantic, is taken out of line, is a real disaster. So please, I hope there's a way to direct this and think about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for bringing this up. I'm also happy that representatives for Councilmember De La Rosa is here to take that concern, to take it seriously and see if we can find avenues to bring the pool up to usage. And do you have an answer for that, Jenna?
Well, I'll say that we do have someone, Jamil Phillips, who oversees all pools. So I do not oversee the pool. What I will say is that, Elizabeth, we hear you loud and clear. We're aware of it. And funding issues have a lot to do with the limitations of what we can do with the pool, as well as lifeguard limitations. Steve Simon, I don't know if you want to answer any other element in terms of Learn to Swim or anything else that might be in the works.
No, I mean, Elizabeth raises a very good point, and I know that we have people in the Parks Department who are studying what needs to be done to reconstruct the pool because of the severe structural issues with that pool basin, and we'll have to report back next month on the status of the research we're doing on what can be done for the pool.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So definitely.
But let me just add one thing though. The issue with the lifeguards is not a money issue. We have the money to hire them. The question is being able to find people willing to serve as lifeguards. And in the last couple of years, we have increased their pay, and we've even provided bonuses to lifeguards who returned the following year. From our perspective, it's not a money issue. It's having to recruit lifeguards, and we were successful this year in being able to recruit, I think, maybe 200 or 300 additional lifeguards above where we were last year, which was particularly low. We had particularly low count last year. We still have a significant shortage of the number of lifeguards that we need.
Okay. Well, the good thing is that we have an entire 8-9 months to work on it. So thank you for offering updates. Ben, we'll revisit the conversation, and hopefully it will be productive between now and the end summer rolls along. Barbara, you have your hand up. Unmute, Barbara.
I'm trying. Okay, I'm unmuted. 3 things. Number one, I would like an update on Gorman Park. Let us not forget Gorman Park and where that stands. Number 2, yes, kudos about how we finished the Dyckman Rest Park, but at the rest area, it does not have any of some of the greenery that we emphasized for the rest of it. Can we please put in a couple planters there in just the sitting area? Many people have been enjoying, and it has really changed the culture of what had formerly been Dump or Needle Park. And many older people have been sitting there in the summertime. Could we please put in a couple planters of some sort to put some greenery there in just the sitting and rest area? And number 3, about the pools, Hochul gave a lot of money, millions for upstate pools to restore them. Like in New Paltz, the pool got, I think, $1 to $2 million to put it back online. So there was tremendous amount, $500,000 in Kingston and so forth. So a lot of significant state money. It's not necessarily Carmen De La Rosa. We should be talking to Manny De Los Santos and Robert Jackson about state money being allocated for the Highbridge Children's Pool.
Thank you, Barbara.
So those 3 points, please address.
Sure. Hi, Barbara. Let's see, Amelia Gorman, you're right on time. About 5 weeks or so ago, we had a capital meeting on site at Amelia Gorman to look at the prospects of what we can do there and the funding needs and the phasing approach that we might consider. We also had a call today. So Steve Simon, I don't know if you want to add any elements there.
All I can say is it's close to the top of our list if it's not at the top of our list, because we we did have a meeting about it today, and we're still trying to grapple with the issues there and trying to come up with a plan. I don't have anything we can report to you on at the moment, but we are. This is actively under consideration to figure out how we can deal with the issue at Gorman.
In terms of planters, Barbara, I do want to note that for our 35 sites in Northern Manhattan parks, we have 4 gardeners. So there is a lot of work at the new Dyckman Rest, and we hope people are really enjoying it. We've heard great remarks about the horticulture greenery that was designed for that new site. And with a friends group cultivated around the site, we hope that they could fund and maintain planters.
And then as a reminder, this is why we passed a resolution to compel city officials, the city council to dedicate 1% of city funding to parks. Every year, we pass the same resolution. We work together with an advocacy group, and this is part of it. If the mayor, or rather the city council, cannot commit to spending at least 1% of the city budget dedicated to parks, then these are the problems that we run into. Hiring people to plant, to lifeguard, and all of this. So there is Kyla, who is asking, surrounding Roger Morris Park along the sidewalks, the grass is in very poor shape. There are rocks, overgrown weeds, and large dirt patches. Is it on the park's radar to address this?
Thank you. Hi, Kyla. Yes, our director of HORT and our district park manager are actually planning to go over to Roger Morris Park with Central Park Conservancy, as we only have them, unfortunately, through December. And Central Park Conservancy has helped extend our ability to take care of Roger Morris Park and make improvements there. So yes, it is on our radar.
Yes. Thank you for that. And thank you, Elizabeth. Once again, I'm looking at the Q&A and answering live. Yes, thank you so very much. Let's see. Do I have any other questions for parks? Hold on one second. Lots of platforms to navigate. Jana, do you want to address the Dyckman Field timeline, or would you rather take specific questions before we get into that particular issue?
Well, I think we can just take questions. It is underway. I don't have the latest update. I can try to find it in terms of what is projected in terms of the finish.
Okay, do we have, yes.
I have a question. This isn't about Dyckman Fields, but.
Okay, sure, with parks. Yeah, we're still in the Q&A period, yes.
The Bennett project is going to be coming to fruition, and the group that's working on it, it had originally been scheduled to redo the beds at the Pinehurst Steps. So since the scaffolding is still up, if that group, construction company, leaves Bennett, they still be retained to do the project at Pinehurst Steps? Going to happen with that?
Yeah.
Hi there.
Yeah, I can take this one.
Oh, go ahead, Steve. Okay.
Yeah, our intention at this point would be to bring them back, and we did award a contract to them. I don't know how long we can hold on to them, but assuming that that scaffolding is removed in the near future, we would hope that the contractor would still agree to abide by and live up to the, according to the bid that was presented some time ago. But
okay, so if the scaffolding is not removed, which it doesn't seem it's going to be anytime soon, what will happen? That's, I guess, my follow-up question.
Well, I don't really want to speculate, but I would say that we're in jeopardy of losing that contractor, and at some point in the future, we might have to put that project out for bid all over again.
I get parched. Have any other questions? Our parks, painting two parks, specific issue of fields. Yeah, absolutely. I just want to make sure that nobody else has a question. Go ahead.
There's been a large cell basically created in that Margaret Court been circled by 4 times to prevent people from executing wheelies. Is there any plans has for using now is just street space with no purpose?
Hi there. Yeah, I think I heard you. Yeah, I think I heard you talk about the Margaret Corbin space now that the DOT has finished that redesign to stop the misuse that was happening there. Yes, at the Fort Tryon Park Trust, we're hopeful that we can build a plan in the spring, introduce some seating ability. I'll be working on that with Parks and the Trust. So that we can take advantage of that plaza, that pedestrian area that has been created.
Thank you. And Elizabeth has another question. Is there a way to return the house in J. Hood Wright Park for exercise classes for seniors? We used to have classes there. Now it is being used for computers, but things could be rearranged to put those to the back room where the Rangers have been. Elizabeth, that's also a question for the aging committee as well. Sometimes committees work together to brainstorm solutions and to ask questions where there may be overlap in services. But if anybody from Parks wants to take this question, you can answer it.
I'll jump in here, Steve, and maybe you want to add something. Chief Conyers, our Chief of Recreation, has let me know that the recreation building that you're asking about at J. Hood Wright, as you might have noticed, it does have some repair needs. And so that's one of the reasons that they're looking to figure out what they can repair when and what the best usage is. The Urban Park Rangers, by the way, have moved out. So they are located now at the Nature Center at Inwood Hill Park. Steve, do you want to add anything?
Steve, you're muted.
Yeah, I say we'll have to come again, go look into this again. But there was a decision made some years ago to curtail the senior programs in that building because if memory serves me correctly, there was a drop off in attendance, and they made a conscious decision to try to emphasize youth programs instead. But we can double check whether there's been any reconsideration since that time. Whether there's any new thoughts to this issue at the moment.
Thank you, Steve. I have a question for Catherine on the updates. Are there any updates for the Morris Jubel Mansion exterior? Because there is an understanding that ground was supposed to be broken in July. So we will appreciate an update to that.
I can handle this one too.
Okay, Steve, you want to take
it?
Yeah. Let me
so much.
let me spare you. Well, when we at one point we were hopeful of having I think a groundbreaking in July, but as it turned out, we had to put the project out for bid a second time. Actually, I should explain that the bidding process and the construction process are actually being overseen by the Historic House Trust, which is an offshoot of or an affiliate of the Parks Department. But we did, in fact, just have a meeting with Catherine and her board members the other night, and so I am pretty much up to date on this. And so we did put it out for bid again. We received new bids in early August. We got better bids the second time around, and we are, in fact, now in discussion with one of the one of the low bidders to try to modify his bid and come up maybe with the best possible price so that we can do as much work as possible. So the Historic House Trust tells us that they are very hopeful of wrapping up that discussion shortly and then being able to award the contract and then we would then have to register the contract with the controller's office and then we would be in a position where we could actually break ground. So there is work that's going on now, and that hopefully is going to lead shortly to the beginning of construction. But in the timetable now, I think calls for construction actually beginning in the spring of next year. To be realistic, it's going to take time to complete the negotiations, build the contract, get it registered, get all the paperwork filed. And then we're not really going to want to start construction in the middle of the winter. So chances are we'll wait until the beginning of the spring.
Thank you, Steve. So in the Q&A, I'm going to mute you, Steve. Feedback coming from you, okay? So same question from two different people. What is the plan for Roger Morris Park after the Central Park Conservancy ends its partnership in December? Two separate people asked the same question.
Yes, hi. As I mentioned, we've been working with Sue Arnott on the board of Morris Jamal Mansion to build out a volunteer program, not only with the mansion, but also with the Morris Jamal Neighborhood Association. George Preston and Hank are a part of that. We're also hopeful that partnerships that we've been building with folks around the park will be joining in, such as a young woman, Danielle, who's anxious to join us. So building out the volunteer program is the goal.
Thank you. Liz, you had a question?
I do. I have a question about the Dyckman ball fields, the soccer field. I recall from when I was chairing this committee and we were talking about that the material being used is not the rubber crumb that everybody hates. Can Jana or Steve tell us what is being used?
It's you're correct. We stopped using the rubber crumb years ago, and what we currently are using is a tufted nylon, and the infill is just sand.
Sand.
S-A-N-D.
Yeah,
sand.
silica.
So this is like
Silica.
none of the forever toxic chemicals that.
No, that's in addition, this synthetic turf does not include any of the PFAS, any of the what's been called the forever chemicals. The turf that we are purchasing has been certified by the manufacturer as being free of PFAS.
Thank you.
So no rubber crumb and no PFAS, and it's made of silica, a sand infill.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Parks. Thank you, everybody. Danny has a question.
Hopefully it's not too redundant, but I think I wonder, do you guys like work with other agencies for like Amelia Gordon Park? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, at some point they're gonna close that tunnel. So I wonder if you guys like also work with like the MTA or the DOT to like find money to help get that park up and running, because I guess like once that tunnel is like closed, then there's only like two ways like to get up there. There'll probably be three ways, which is a bus, whatever street that is.
Hillside.
Yeah, no, it's not Hillside, 192nd, I think.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
And then the next way to get up there would be the park. So I guess that's like my question.
What is the question?
If they work with like other agencies, like to like fund money and like to figure out to get that park up and running before they close the tunnel at some point when they do remodel.
Why would they be closing the tunnel?
Because at some point,
What?
they're,
What? I'm sorry. What? I didn't catch that.
at some point, they're gonna close that tunnel, 190 from Broadway to St. Nicholas.
What gives you that idea?
I've heard this, and they spoke about it a couple of times.
So you're saying that MTA has said they're closing it, Danny?
I'm not sure about MTA, but it was the council people that they
But
said.
are we sure about that, or is that just a speculation, or are we just saying that in the event that it will be closed?
Yeah, so I'm just, because I know that they said this multiple times, that they're gonna remodel that tunnel. Since at some point.
I'm on traffic and transportation.
I never heard any discussion that it would be closed. It's the equivalent of a city street. And it provides it provides access to the subway. I don't see how it could ever be closed.
I know I'm not going crazy, because last year when we painted it, they also mentioned that they're gonna like procure like, I forgot how much millions of dollars to close down the tunnel, to redo the tunnel, because.
I'll check on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check on it, and then it's a way to preempt this possibility. Then now Parks has been alerted that that is a possibility, and maybe they want to work on avenues to prepare for that closing. Is that something that seems?
Yeah.
So
it's not that I
It
heard.
hasn't, it hasn't come up on our committee.
Yeah, it's not that they're gonna close it like next year or whatever, but I know that they've said this multiple times. So I'm like, I know I'm not going crazy. They just painted it.
Well, they fixed the front door and, anyway, I'll check into it.
So at this point, to be mindful of the time, because we still have 3 more items on the agenda. There's a
debate happening.
Yeah, exactly. So in this order, Barbara, Kaya, Jamila, and Liz, in that order.
I have followed on Facebook this controversy about the artificial turf at Inwood Fields. I understand it's not going to have the crumbly stuff, but the turf that will be put in, is that turf permitted in Europe, particularly Scandinavia and Germany? Because I heard that they had abolished all artificial turf. Is the turf that you're selecting acceptable, for example, in the European countries?
I have no idea, but it satisfies federal, state, and local regulations in the United States of America.
Because they have reported that there's been increases in cancer among the use of any forms of artificial turf, even if it doesn't have the black crumbly stuff. Could you check on that, Steve? About the opposition in the European countries to any form of artificial turf? I mean, we may be behind the 8 ball on this, you know, we may be lagging.
Well, you know, I think, well, you know, there's a state law that's supposed to go into effect, I think, 2 years to ban PFAS, and we're already 2 years ahead of that deadline in not purchasing products with PFAS. So, I mean, we're doing our best to adhere to local, state, and federal law when it comes to this product.
Thank you, Steve. Kaya, you're next.
Hi, thank you so much. I had a question about something you said about how the infill is not going to be the rubber crumb, which I think we can all agree is really good, but is going to be sand instead, specifically silica sand. I know that fell under the California Proposition 65 about since silica can cause silicosis and other types of cancers, there are certain warnings about it, and silica is a dust that can be easily disturbed. Given that this is a soccer field that people will be running all up and down. So I just wanted to ask, because I feel that this is a question that's going to come up less so from my own perspective, but just, as friends of Inwood Hill Park, we've gotten a lot of comments about it in the last few weeks and emails and questions. I'm wondering about safety precautions that Parks is going to be taking with installation, and if there's been any discussion on how to make sure that there isn't going to be some kind of small release of the silica sand moving upwards when there's pressure and the turf is compacted. Anything from the manufacturer that Park could offer just as a community assurance, I think would be really appreciated. Thank you.
You have my email?
Thank you. So that was just a comment, Kaya, right? Was that a, yes.
If Parks has any comment to make on people's concern about silica sand, I think that'd be greatly appreciated. But just to know that I think there will be comments in the future.
Well, again, I'll take this up with our direct specifications tomorrow.
Thank you.
Jamila, you're next, and then Liz.
I just want to, I think, clarify what he was asking. He was referring to the one train tunnel that just is going through a short-term solution, and eventually it's going to be shut. That's like after, I think, 2025, 6 for a few years for evacuation. When the time comes, then Parks will obviously have the conversation with MTA and DOT about a bus shuttle, because it is the only way to access the one train. But I just want to clarify that. I know that there's also news about the A train getting renovated. It's not happening right now. That's the future. I'm gonna say in a year or two from now, which will also require some type of bus shuttle service. So of course, Parks and MTA will talk, but it's mostly DOT and MTA that will have that discussion. I just want to clarify that.
I'm not crazy.
Okay. So in preparation for that, then Parks can start the conversation. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Jamila. Thank you for that.
You're the brown.
Liz, you're next.
My questions were answered. Thank you, everybody. And
thank you.
A reminder, can people, when they're not talking, please mute themselves, and when they're done asking their questions, please lower their hands.
Thank you. So if there aren't any more questions for Parks, we can move to the next item on the agenda, which is the installation of water service to the Riverside Oval Garden, presented by Parks Capital Division. I am so sorry. Today is a very long day. So who will be presenting? 10 minutes.
Okay.
That would be me, Callie.
Welcome, Callie.
Hi, thank you for having us. I'm working on this project with Raymond Palmares, who's also on the call right now.
Okay, there you are. Okay.
Yes, we are from Capital Engineering at Parks, and let me share my screen for the presentation.
So you have approximately, Callie, 10 minutes.
Okay.
With still room for questions, because I understand you're seeking, or Parks, there needs to be a resolution supporting this. Am I correct?
We just wanted to present this project to the community board to see if you had any comments or questions.
No. Hold it 1 second. We do in fact need a resolution, as I explained, because we are proceeding to present this plan to both the Landmarks Preservation Commission and to the Public Design Commission. So we would appreciate a letter of support for the project.
A letter of support or resolution?
Well, a resolution with,
Great. All right.
That's the way the board functions. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Can I mute you, Steve? Because you're getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, take it away.
Okay. There will be some slides that I'll just skip through really quickly. And we are working with a consultant on this project, just so everyone knows. Okay, our goals for this project is to provide water service, and with that, we're required to install a backflow prevention device, and we will also be providing 2 yard hydrants for the community to connect their hoses to water the plants within the oval. And then we have Riverside Oval near 156th Street. I'm going to skip through these, but basically there are no flood hazards in that area. And this is just the neighborhood parks. And then we have just a tree survey here showing some of the trees that we had to avoid when we placed our device. This is just the DEP water main map showing this water main will be connecting to on the west side of the oval. Just the existing conditions of the park, there's one entrance on the east side of the oval. And we have some pictures here showing the approximate area where we would be installing our backflow prevention and water meter device. Will be in this planter area, and we'll see it in more detail on the next slides. Okay, so as I said, we have the DEP water main on the west side of the oval, which we'll be tapping into. And then we have the water service going into the oval. This small rectangle will be our enclosure for the backflow prevention device and water meter. And then we have this split off to 2 yard hydrants that can be connected to hoses. We are at the 50% design stage now. So this is just a snippet of our design drawings, again, showing the water main that we're connecting to. And this is, you know, a scaled drawing of how big the enclosure would be for the device. Here we have some renderings of how it would possibly look like. We have this black enclosure box for the device, and then we'll be providing some shrubbery for screening that box. And then another view from across the street showing the device. And this is the enclosure that we are proposing. Parks usually uses a black color for these enclosures, so it won't be this beige color, it'll be black. And this aluminum enclosure is vandal proof to prevent any theft of our devices. Just some detail showing the box and the assembly inside. The box is about just a little over 3 feet in height. So this is a picture of the yard hydrants that we'll be providing, which, as I said, there will be 2 of them. And it's a simple device to connect the hose to, since the community will be using it to water the garden. And these are 2 of the proposed shrubberies that we'll be using to screen that enclosure box. And that's the end of the presentation.
David, right? Thank you so much. That was so cohesive. We have questions. David? Bruce. Oh, so sorry. Oh my God. I do that.
I'm actually a volunteer with the Riverside Oval Association. I'm the guy that installed the hoses 10 years ago because we had to water the garden, and we hooked up a 75-foot hose to the fire hydrant across the street. And we've been doing it that way for years and years. And finally, we're getting faucets that we're asking for.
Yeah.
So are these faucets 3/4 inch connectors or 1 inch connectors? Because we're using 3/4 inch hoses. And it could be either one. I'm just curious.
Let me flip to the design drawing. Actually, I don't think we specified on this drawing, but what was the size that you were looking to use?
Doesn't matter. We can put an adapter on it.
Yeah, I believe we're using, this is Raymond, sorry. We're using 3/4 inch hoses. This is this type of spigot we've been using in some of the community gardens. And so, you know, again, I think the 3/4 inch hose is a more common one.
We were jealous. We were jealous when Bruce's garden got a faucet and Inwood Hill Park got a faucet years ago. We didn't. So we've been making do, and we've been keeping the garden together in a beautiful manner. And we appreciate Parks finally coming around to do this. Thank you. And I wholeheartedly, I'm representing people from the Oval Association, including Steve Simon, who actually happens to be the co-chair, and Vivian Ducat, who couldn't make it tonight. So I'm here just to endorse that you all support this resolution because,
Well, it hasn't been written yet.
well, I was going to say.
It's gonna be written.
I'll write it. You want me to write it? I'll write it. Yes, I can write it. And I'll help you write it. You know, it's very simple. But it needs to be done, and thank you, Steve.
Okay.
Bruce beat me. Bruce beat me to the. Yeah, because I should state for the record, in the interest of full disclosure, that I am a co-chair of the organization that, along with Vivian Ducat, that maintains the garden, and really Bruce is the one, and Dan Miro, Christina.
We keep the plants alive.
Who are the ones who really have been dedicated to helping to doing that.
And we put out an annual calendar.
Is that a new? Well, that's something else. But
Last year.
But this is a volunteer effort, and
24.
As Bruce mentioned, we've been looking forward to getting this water connection for a number of years.
What happens is we drag the hose across Riverside Drive south, and the buses go over it. So every year we have to spend $100 to buy a new hose because it's a commercial grade. But you put a 3-ton bus over a hose 20 times. Well, we only do it for about 2 hours, 3 hours to water. But you get 10, 15 buses that go over that, and it does damage. So this is a great thing to happen. Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you for that. That presentation was very brief. I want to be mindful of our time. Any other questions for item 4 on the agenda, installation of water service? Thank you. It's okay. Thank you so much. And now we have item 5.
No, I have that one.
Oh, you do?
Guys, one conversation at a time, please. Presentation on the proposed Larry Neal Dog Run. We are ready. Is Avatar online? Because we also have a resolution as it pertains to this park. Presentation and resolution.
We're back. Hello. So this is our, I don't know how many times we're presenting this presentation, but we've got it right this time. And we took some time off this summer, and we've been working diligently, tight with Parks Department, Jana Lasorda and Chris Heitman, as well as project manager Bradley Romaker, who I can see is in the room right now. Hello, Brad. And I want to say, first off, I want to say hello, Danny. Hello, Alexis, Vice Chair, and hello, Chair Luana. I love the pearls. You're looking very presidential right now. Go Kamala.
They're rhinestones, but thank you.
I know what you're doing. I saw it. I thought automatically. I see it. I see it.
All right. Avatar, the presidential debate, speaking of, so let's get this so that I can read the resolution and we can move it along.
You got 10 minutes.
All right. So tonight I've put together a highlighted version of the presentation because I'm being very conscious of the time, but I've already submitted to you guys a extended version of the presentation that you can always go back to and reference. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Allison, or just send it to the email address. So we have that. And so with that being said, let's jump right into it. Are you allowing me to share right now?
Yes, you're a panelist. You can share.
Okay. This is my first time doing this, so bear with me. All right. Excellent. Here we go. Okay, so as you all know, this is the Larry Neal Dog Run, and so we are excited to present our proposal to establish the Larry Neal Dog Run, dedicated to a space for community and their canine companions, named after legendary Larry Neal. This dog run aims to celebrate unity, the spirit of unity, diversity, and the importance of fostering meaningful relationships within our neighborhood. Who is Larry Neal? Larry Neal is the founder of the Black Arts Movement, started in Harlem in the early 60s. He, along with fellow artists Sonia Sanchez, Nikki Giovanni, Max Roach, Charlie Fuller, to name just a few, that push the idea that art is not just for art's sake, but also be used as a tool to liberate its people. Larry Neal was the founder of the Black Arts Repertory Theater in Harlem, a professor at Yale, Howard, and the CUNY system. He was a recipient of the Guggenheim Fellowship, a playwright, author, husband, and father. Larry Neal has a memorial plaque in the 125th Street 5-4 line station honoring his work done in Harlem by the mayor David Dinkins, and most recently, he was honored by organizations While We Are Still Here, Inc., and Signs of New York, with the beautiful plaque on Jamel Terrace where he lived. Our mission at the Larry Neal Dog Run is to offer a vibrant, safe, and inclusive community space where dogs and their owners can come together. We aim to become a go-to space for dogs to exercise, play, and socialize while providing a valuable community resource and pet care services. We are committed to partner and collaborate with the community to foster the environment that promotes the well-being of pets and their owners through clean, well-maintenance facilities, engaging activities, and educational resources. So right here is just a sketch of the actual location of the dog run. The dog run is proposed to be located at Edgecombe Avenue, stretching from 160th to 162nd Street, nestled in the heart of the historic Jamel Mansion area in Washington Heights. The location not only pays homage to the rich cultural heritage of the community, but also provides easy accessibility to all the residents. This is just an aerial view of the spot that we propose to use. That's actually not being used at the moment. And here we have a sketch of the actual park, which was done by project manager Brad Romaker. Here's another sketch of the park. As you can see, we have a small dog run area designated, and it's right off of the street, which makes it accessible to the elderly, to the handicapped, and a larger dog run. We made sure to preserve the well-being of the trees that are in there, because there are some old trees, and we want to make sure that we don't do any damage to the roots. Design proposal phase. So what we're doing right now is we are petitioning for a temporary dog run where we have chain link fences throughout the park that provides a safe place that dogs won't be able to run into the street. We also have at the entrance level, we'll have a double hinged gate so that dogs are not able to get out, and mulch ground for the coverage. Key features are that one of the unique key features of the dog run is the street is accessible, setting it apart from nearby dog runs. This ensures that it's easily reachable for all community members and their furry friends. I'm just going to skip through this a little bit because I know we're rushed for time, but these are some of the key features. It's we already have light fixtures that are there. It's next to a bus stop. There are already dispensable bag holders there for the dog run. The dog run is currently the proposed place that we have right now is currently 30 minutes going and coming from any surrounding dog runs. So that community, I know, even though there are dog runs positioned like at High Bridge and there's Rockies, and all of them we're working with and we're collaborating with, but for our community, it's a bit of a stretch. It's 15 minutes to go there and 15 minutes to go back, which makes it doesn't make it accessible for this community, especially for the elderly and and people who are not accessible, like my mother, who's 86 years old, walks my dog. She'll never go to those dog runs because she's old.
Oh, stop it.
I mean, she's vintage. I don't know how y'all, she's vintage, right? She gets it. We are getting tremendous support from the community. I don't know if I've led with this, but over the summer, we've been working really diligently. We've been throwing fundraisers, we've been throwing block parties, we've been doing everything we can to get the community involved. We've got tremendous support from the historic building 555 Edgecombe Avenue and 421 West 162nd Street. These are buildings that are surrounding that proposed area. So, and directly across the street from the proposed area is the mansion. So there's not a lot of noise. We're not worried about noise violations or anything like that from the surrounding buildings. We got support from the two surrounding buildings, and we're directly adjacent from the park. Okay, and I'm trust me, I'm wrapping up. I know. So over the summer, we've been working very closely, I said, with Parks and Jamel, the Morris Jamel Block Association, as well as the Jamel Mansion. So we have with the Jamel Mansion, hold on, let me just read it through. We have also worked closely with Parks Department to help our neighborhood. We have volunteered in the Let's Go Green NYC, sponsored by Borough Commissioner Trisha, forgive me for this, Shamaria, and Parks Commissioner. Forgive me, and if she's listening, I'm sorry. I know I've been all day, and it's just a tongue tire. And Parks Commissioner Sue Donahue. We have also collaborated with Morris Jamel Mansion for the annual Easter egg hunt, where our volunteers, as you can see, dressed up as the Easter Bunny and face painted and gave out toys and helped give a tour of the mansion. And we've also been we've been working closely with the Morris Jamel Block Association during local cleanups. So we've cleaned up the neighborhood, we've cleaned up the park, the places by Seatown, and also the proposed dog run spot. So as we're all saying all of this, we're saying that we're not just proposing to be a dog park community. We're a part of the neighborhood. We are doing things that hopefully uplifting not only just the dog run, but the community as well.
1 minute, Avatar.
Okay. We're on timers now. Okay. We've thrown a bunch of fundraisers. We've raised $7,500. Okay, recent success. We just August 17th, we threw our annual block party with the Morris Jamel Block Association, and we got the support from from Senator Jackson, as well as other delegates. All right, you know what? You put the pressure on me. I'm gonna cut it short. Our timeline is we want to get through this. We want to get a letter of resolution, and we also want to start submitting grants for proposals because we need to raise money. And thank you for hearing my presentation. If you want to contact us, please go to LarryNealDogRun.org. You can visit us on our Instagram at 161dogrun_Larry Neal, or you can email us at lnealdogrun@gmail.com. And also, we at this date, we've obtained 365 signatures from the community in support of the dog run. And if you want to further help us support the dog run, please feel free to go to our petition where you can sign and make us get to our mark, which is 500. And I'm done.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to clarify. Thank you, Avatar. I just want to clarify that this is the second presentation that this has been in the works since the 2024 2023-2024 cycle. So we do have a resolution ready because this has been an ongoing work. But before we get to the resolution, does anybody have any questions? Bruce, Alexis, Bruce, Barbara.
Barbara, if you don't ask a question, I'll be disappointed.
In that order. Did everybody get the order? Bruce, Alexis,
Maybe last, yeah.
Barbara and Danny. Okay, Bruce.
What does it cost to build this dog run that you're talking about, you're presenting?
So we've been, as I said, we worked very closely with Bradley Rollmaker, who's the project manager for parks, and he gave us an estimate of $26,000. But we're still in talks with the parks about how much of that we actually have to raise. And Brad is there, and Jana is, I believe she's still on board. If so, they could probably address that better than I can.
Hey, Avatar.
Hey.
Great job again. Yeah, and thank you. You and your team have been so wonderful to work with. To the gentleman who asked that question, what's really wonderful about this is that the 162nd and Edgecombe area that we're looking at through 161st, that is, that space was not doing anything prior to this design. And in terms of what we're looking at in this first iteration of the dog run, there are no significant costs. And the Larry Neal Dog Run Group has been raising money in really impressive fashion for some of the funding that they're going to have to do to help out with fence lines and other maintenance needs once the dog run is built. I can't recall, Avatar, I don't think you mentioned this, but one of the agreements that we also struck with the Larry Neal Dog Run is looking at this first year as a trial run. And then agreeing that water is something that the Larry Neal Dog Run will fundraise for. All dog runs are run by the dog run citizens who have created the dog run and who fund the maintenance needs of the dog run. We at Parks work with the dog run leaders like Avatar to help provide ground cover. So mulch, for instance, if a dog run chooses mulch. This one will have a natural ground cover, so there's no cost there. We're using the natural ground. And we do help, as do city council officials, with fence line issues, if there needs to be an upgraded fence. This one, again, mostly has an exterior fence. We're just going to do some adaptive ability to ensure that small dogs, for instance, can't get out on the Edgecombe side, and also to screen a bit of the visibility issues. So the fencing that we'll put on the interior is that $26,000.
Thank you.
Okay. And also as a reminder, this is a temporary dog run for now to test it out. Alexis?
That's right.
No, I just wanted to say, as somebody who, I'm very proud of Avatar because he knows, he's been my neighbor for a long time.
Oh.
And he knows that I gave a lot of grief to a lot of people in the park in Roger Morris Park. And so I apologize for any language that ever came out of my mouth.
Like what?
Oh, Bruce, you know what language I do.
I have it written down. I can tell you exactly. I can quote it.
So let's stick to the time, please. Thank you.
Just want to say, very proud of you, Avatar, and not only as a committee will we be here for you, but as a neighborhood. So
Thank you. And it's not just me. It's the Larry Neal Dog Run Committee. Many of those members are actually in your audience right now.
Yes,
So I couldn't have done it without them.
Yes, I know, but thank you for taking this on and finding a solution to the problem.
Yes.
Barbara, you're next.
Hey, Barbara, what you got for me?
Unmute, Barbara.
Fine. Okay, I'm unmuted. Okay, as they say, if you build it, they will come. And I really want to point out the location there, and that I would like you to expand your vision a little bit, great vision, that as you pointed out, as your mother is very athletic and very busy out there, that it should be also, I think, seen as a dog run and sitting area. And that that the sitting in there, that it will naturally, and I've seen with dog runs that especially seniors like to sit there. It's a nice companionship, and that it will attract not just dog people and dogs, but also there's a good senior population in the Jumel area, and with the fencing, they feel safer sitting there, and it's a great view, a great area to sit, and a convenient location. So I think part of your pitch should be that it's the Larry Neal Dog Run and sitting area, and you love it. That's why I raise my hand all the time. And that, part of that, like when those trees were blocked out of the design, I don't think so. It would be very nice to have a circle of really nice benches shady around those trees, right? You know, have like a nice circle of benches around those trees. You sit under the shady trees and watch the little dogs frolic, you know? It makes kind of a nicer, more open design. See it, Larry, right? That's nice. See it? I like that. So I'm just pointing that out. Also, my own opinion is, and of course I'm the one who got the dog run built at Dykeman Rest. Ain't any committee beforehand. There was no people raising money. It was just, we've got to have it. And I don't like this idea of dogs as second-class citizens, and you got to put up all this money first and beg and borrow and everything before you get what citizens should have. And I think that's got to be looked at, because what you're doing is taking an abandoned area, just like at Dykeman Rest, and you're turning it into something that's going to be a neighborhood attraction. And that should be appreciated by the city, you know? So I think that when you see that, and you also see it then with, I would like you to come up, maybe we can get together, and I'd like to show you the Dykeman Rest and what we've done there, because that was garbage and Needle Park. And now it's really, people love it. So why don't you come up and look at that? Maybe, you know, like in this next week, it's small compared to what you're going to have, but it gives you the concept of what you could do for having dogs and having people and having the community come into a place. Okay.
Thank you,
Barbara. Can I respond to that?
Yes,
please.
absolutely.
Yes, Barbara, first of all, thank you so much for that. And I would absolutely love to meet with you. Can we, on the side, exchange information so that we can set up
exchange
a time?
numbers.
Yes, let's exchange numbers, because I would love to meet with you. And later on, we could talk about you becoming a consultant, because everything you said was fantastic. And to expand on the sitting area, we actually have the project manager in the audience right now, Bradley Romaker, who could probably expand on that if we have time.
Okay, sounds great. Okay, sounds good. Okay, Luana, yeah. Who's there?
Hi, it's Jana. Brad Romaker is having some audio difficulties, I think. So, you know, I want to just mention, to your great points, this is something we've been working with the Larry Neal Dog Run on, is the ideation related to that entire space. So you're right on point that we have been talking about the north section of the Larry Neal Dog Run that would allow for us to have some more recreational use, possibly trail usage over to the adventure playground, and also some connectivity finally to the Aqueduct Trail.
Very
so
good.
they're absolutely, absolutely, you're right on target. We're looking for more integrated usage.
Yeah, just like when we talked about doing the High Bridge Rest, that it connects to the trail behind up into High Bridge.
Exactly. Right.
Right. And that was one of the insistence I had. Okay. So anyways, well, we'll all talk, you know, Jana and your guy, Brad, and you, and then we'll all talk, and we'll have him come up and do a walkthrough of what the Dykeman Rest thing is, kind of a miniature of what you would be able to do at the Larry Neal. It's a miniature.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
With that, Jana, kind of. Okay.
We still have more question, Danny, and we still have to get to the resolution, and I want to keep the meeting to our 2-hour margin.
Sure.
Hopefully. So, Danny?
Luana, before
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Before you interject with the question, I just wanted to add, because I was rushing through it. We're also putting up a billboard at the front of the park that will announce all things that are going on in the community. So when the question was asked, where can we find this information? It'll be right there at the front of the park on the billboard. All events that are going, kayaking, the trails behind the dog run, all of that will be tied into the dog run. All right, and then I'm good. Danny?
Comment on 555 Edgecombe Avenue. That's a landmark building, and so that's a good to put, you know. And also I wonder if it would be beneficial to put like stop signs or maybe like a new crosswalk on the actual, on like, not where.
That's transportation though.
Yeah, so that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, I wonder if it would be not just on 162, but like also on the other corner of 162 and the other corner of wherever like 555 Edgecombe Avenue is at. Because that street is a kind of like, I know not a lot of cars pass by through there, but if people are gonna start using that park, I would think that would be beneficial to do that, and I would, I think I would
Encourage
invite you to
Yeah.
go to
traffic and transportation.
Yeah, traffic and transportation, to see if you could facilitate that, because there's just
Yeah.
like one on 162, and then there's one by 555 Edgecombe Avenue, and that's like a long stretch, and it's not
And
a
that's
real.
a blind curve. That's a blind curve that comes around and it's very dangerous. And I'm so glad you brought that up because
Yeah.
we've had several members of our committee complain about taking their dogs to that area because they're scared to cross the street because cars just zoom around that little blind
Right.
without slowing down. So thank you, Danny. You're right.
And additionally, that creates an issue with public safety, and at times, public transportation and public safety, they conduct joint meetings. So that's another avenue, because like Danny said, if it's an issue of transportation that can improve public safety, then you can also go to that committee. Okay, with no further ado, let's get to the resolution. I hope everybody has a copy. They were printed and placed in the front. I'm going to, I'll share. Yeah. Okay, resolution to build. Everybody ready?
Like to vote it, right?
We have to vote on it. So the way that for new board members and for the community at large, the way that resolutions work, the committee drafts a resolution, the committee comments on the resolution, making friendly amendments. The committee votes on the resolution, and then that resolution goes to the general board meeting, which is conducted on the third Thursday of the month? I get those confused,
Yeah.
third or fourth. So Tuesday, not Thursday, Tuesday. So the next meeting will be, general board meeting will be on the 24th, the last Tuesday of every month. But first, we got to vote on the resolution. It goes to the general meeting. The general meeting makes comments or amendments, and then it is up for passing at the board meeting. But right now it needs to pass at the committee meeting, and I'm going to read it for accessibility and also public record. Resolution to build a temporary Larry Neal dog run on 161st Street and Edgecombe Avenue, Highbridge Park. And that can be inverted. And also these, whenever we discuss friendly amendments, those get reformulated and then presented to the board. So, whereas, you want to read it? I'm so, well, you're taking, you read it. Co-chair, read it.
Whereas the Larry Neal Dog Run Committee, hence, well, that part, is a 501c3 nonprofit aiming to provide a safe, clean, and enjoyable space for dogs to play and socialize. Whereas Larry Neal Dog Run can become a much-needed go-to destination for dog owners in the area, relieving the Morris Jamel Mansion Park from dog overcrowding. Whereas to date, I'll just quote the dog run, has received overwhelming support from historic buildings such as 555 Edgecombe, Morris Jamel Mansion, and 421 West 162nd Street, including an additional 363 signatures from the CV12 community. Whereas the dog run has worked diligently in development efforts, collecting approximately $7,000 in donations while continuing to conduct programming to raise funds. Whereas the dog run has collaborated with the Parks Department on possible designs for the dog run and continues to work alongside the agency. Whereas the dog run presented the project at the CB12 Parks and Cultural Affairs meeting on Tuesday, whatever today is, and requested support from the committee.
Well, twice, the two meetings,
the two
the
meetings.
first presentation and the second presentation,
Gotcha.
two separate dates.
Get those dates in. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta get those dates in.
Whereas the Larry Neal Dog Run Committee attended the CB12 Parks and Cultural Affairs on Tuesday. September 10th, 2024, to conduct a joint presentation with the Parks Department regarding design and cost. Whereas the Parks Department has assessed that the building of the dog run will have minimal impact on, and this is the Highbridge Park area, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Allowing for a continued shared space between dog owners and non-owners alike. Whereas the Larry Neal Dog Run has agreed that this is a temporary endeavor contingent upon the committee's dedication to its upkeep and programming. Whereas the dog run is named after Larry Neal, a civil rights activist and scholar who was a CB12 resident and member of the Black Arts Movement in the early 60s, the founder of the Black Arts Repertory Theater in Harlem, and a recipient of the prestigious Guggenheim Fellowship. Whereas more information about the Larry Neal Dog Run can be found at www.larrynealdogrun.org. Be it resolved that the Parks Department built a temporary dog run on 161st Street and Edgecombe Avenue and named after Larry Neal. Be it further resolved that the Larry Neal Dog Run Committee will pledge its continued dedication to work collaboratively with the Parks Department on the maintenance and programming of said dog run.
Sorry, I thought I was mute. Sorry.
No worries. So that is the draft of the resolution. Committee members, do I have
Yep.
any questions, suggestions, amendments to the wording? Danny?
No, I was gonna say, are we voting for this? And
Well, first we comment. Okay, with also, we're clarifying the two dates that the committee came in. We're going to update that now the fundraising is upward $7,500. We're going to name the exact location. We have Highbridge Park, and name it once again. Questions or comments, Danny?
I would move this part, like somewhere higher in the top. The part where it says like Larry, the dog park is named after Larry Neal, Black activist movement and all that stuff. I would want to put that like either first or second, just because like it is his name on it, and then it is a dog park for the community and all that stuff. Exactly like how he started his presentation, where he named who he is, and then after that, everything else. And
I want to push back on that, because the purpose of the resolution is to build a dog run. Like if this were to build a center, then it would start. But the reason why it was placed in the end is because it's the rationale as to why the dog run should be named after this member of the community. It's the rationale.
It says is named after Larry Neal. So
Right.
I would just like think like after like calling it Larry Neal Dog Run, and then after that, save it at the end. I would just like want to like put it at least like second, where it's just like, okay, like it is a dog run and is named after this person, and then everything else that goes on with it, because his contribution is also valid, I believe, and especially with what he's done for a group of people. And then everything else is obviously like secondary, but I will just say, because of how important this person is, I would want to put it up on top. It's not like we're like, oh, we're naming it because of him. It's like, no, like this is this person, this is like the contribution he made, and this is not what we're contributing to the neighborhood with his name on it, you know?
Yeah, where I'm not gonna go back and forth. It's because I want to get through questions and clarifications in this order. Liz and then Barbara.
Hey, thanks for taking my question. Yeah, I agree. The first thing is we're building a dog run, and you establish all of the things related to the dog run. And then you go with why the dog run is being named after the person that it's being named after. I love everything about this. I have a couple of very small grammatical things that I'll send you offline, because it's sort of too hard for me to look at the reso and also offer that feedback. But I'm going to try and stay on this call long enough so that I can actually vote yes. And I would urge people not to get too terribly caught up in what order the things are in, because ultimately, we're approving this thing.
Liz, point of clarification. I was under the impression that it's committee members that vote, not board members yet. Can you please clarify?
So
I can vote.
generally, the committee members vote, and that's how whether it was approved or not approved is established. But non-committee members who are members of the board, their votes are usually also counted. So there'll be a tally that shows committee members, how they voted, public members of the committee, how they voted, and then board members who are not members of the committee, how they voted.
Thank you for clarifying that, because at times we have had no quorum, but also there were no board members in. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Barbara?
I don't count for quorum.
So quorum is to present the resolution, but we can.
Yeah.
Okay, Barbara, you're next.
Correct.
Yeah.
Since we discussed the other possible use there, I would just like to add a sentence that, and since the area is also ideal for passive recreation for the community.
Oh, okay. Can you send me that via email?
Sure. Or I'll just put it in the chat now, since just a sentence, because then that allows for the expansion of that concept.
Okay, is that a separate whereas, or in addition to be added?
Whereas the area is also ideal for the passive recreation for the community, or something like that. I'll put that in the chat.
And no worries, because I can refer to the recording and just take your words and reformulate them. Thank you.
Reformulate it however you wish. Yeah. Sure.
Danny?
On the third whereas, just to add that the support from 555 Edgecombe to put landmark historic building, because that building is landmark.
That's what I said, from historic buildings.
No, it's like landmark from the
landmark. You want that language.
Yeah, from
okay,
the
got
Landmark
it.
Preservation Committee. Like it's actually
Landmark.
like a landmark building from New York City.
Okay. Barbara, did you have another question? Your hand is up.
No. Oh, no.
Great. Thank you, Barbara. Okay, Commissioner agreed to. Steve, do you have a question or a comment?
Yeah, but my comment is that there are really two questions here that you'd be asking the commissioner to agree to. Number one would be to construct the dog run, and then there's a separate question as to whether or not it can be named for Larry Neal. The commission would have to separately decide on the name of any Parks Department property. So you need to make it explicit that don't assume right off the bat that it's going to be called the Larry Neal Dog Run. You're requesting that the commissioner agree to name it for him, and then you should give reasons why it should be named for him.
Right, but I'm assuming that would go once the resolution passes at the committee, when the resolution goes up in the board, because we did put a whereas as to why it should be named Larry Neal.
All right, but I don't know. I didn't quite hear it that you were specifically requesting that the commissioner name it for him. She would be looking for that.
Okay, thank you. But like I said, that provision would go once the resolution at the general board meeting. That to me sounds like an amendment for the general board meeting.
Well,
right?
Put it in now.
Like a whereas we ask the commissioner.
Request the Parks Department to name this after Larry Neal. For the
Steve,
reasons
send me
stated.
that amendment and.
No, I cannot do that.
Oh, you cannot do that. I'm sorry. Conflict of interest. Bruce, can you do that for me? Okay.
Luana, I'm not sure if it's intentional, but you are on mute.
I am so sorry about that. Barbara, how do you vote?
I think it goes.
I vote yes.
Very good. And Crystal, how do you vote? Okay, we can come back to Crystal. So how, committee members, votes 5. Do I have any nays from the committee? Any abstentions?
No, it's like.
No, okay, board members, Bruce, how do you vote?
Yes.
Liz, how do you vote? She did say yes, right? But I just want to make sure.
She has to say
Liz-
yes now, though.
She has to say yes now.
Let me text her real fast.
Liz, how do you vote? And your camera has to be.
Sorry, I vote yes. It's very hard for me to find the unmute button on my phone. I
No.
vote yes.
Can you please do it with the camera on?
Yes. There we go. Hello, I vote yes.
And I don't think Steve.
No, that's it. No, Steve cannot vote because it's a conflict of interest. The
And if
resolution.
anybody wants, I'm gonna hop off now, and if anybody wants to come watch the debate at my house, if you know where I live, come on over.
Okay, then. Thank you.
I think Steve.
The resolution passes. Congratulations. And public was Naima. Public member of the committee is would be Naima
The
Silvers.
actual public, they can vote here.
They can voice their support.
Yeah.
But they don't vote, yeah.
Oh, I thought public.
They can-
Public member was Naima.
Okay, never mind.
Naima, remember Naima? She is a committee public member.
Well, I
unanimous.
saw public was allowed. to
No.
vote.
It's unanimous.
Congratulations, everybody, and good luck in the general board meeting. I encourage you to come, attend, and persuade the community board as to why this is a good resolution. New business, old business. Yes, Barbara.
Larry, could you give Larry Neal Dog Run my email and my phone number? I don't know how to do that without giving it to everybody.
Alexis will do it. Alexis will do it.
Yeah, give him my email and my phone number. Okay, thank you, Alexis. Okay.
Go watch the debate.
Okay, now, new business, old business, pending business.
Nothing.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Danny, to adjourn.
Second. Motion
And-
to adjourn.
Thank you.
Okay, I swear, I thought the public was able to vote.
No, no.